What's up, everybody? Hey. It is Asada, and we are here again for another episode of Gathering of the Griots. What? I don't even know what number this is. Who cares? We just keep bringing you power, Black writing power. And so, before we start, I got to give props to the force that brought us here. That's the Female Solution. Yep, we're the Tuesday morning show for the Female Solution. So, if you don't know what that is, just take a look right now and see for yourself, and then we're going to get busy. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
All right, y'all, we are back. And let me tell you something. Today's show is going to be so exciting. And it's so exciting for so many reasons, right? And I'm trying to debate. Do I show the video first? Do I show them first? But I think I want to bring their energy on first. Today, we are going to be talking to some co-authors. My man, John Bitoy and Calvin Hollins. I think I want to bring them on because I just like their energy. Let me just bring them on first, and then we'll get into the video. Let me show one. Look, one gonna come on. There go my man, John. And another one gonna come on. There go my man, Calvin. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good morning.
Oh, man, I'm loving it. Look, I'm going to take my name down. I need to put your name up so that people can see it. We don't care about seeing my name. Anyway, I want to say thank you for being on the show today because, I love to interview authors, but the bigger thing about the fact that we took the courage to write our stories is always a lovely backstory that made us write the story in the first place. And so before I have a video montage that I found that I think I'll share. Y'all tell me, you want me to show it and then you talk, or you want to talk and then I show it? What do you want me to do?
We're going to follow your lead. There's nothing better than wake up in the morning with a beautiful woman. What can I say?
Ow. He better watch out. He better watch out. I'm telling you. Anyway. All right, y'all. So I tell you.
Show the montage first. We'll key in after that. So,
yeah. Okay. Hercules. So this is what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to show the video montage because it's going to show you some beautiful things that'll make you say, "Ooh, what's that? Wait a minute, is that them?" And then I'm gonna have them come in and sort of add to it. So let me just go to that video and let's go. You know how they say, let's go to the videotape. Let's go to the videotape because I really love this. Hercules. Look. When I showed that yesterday, your response yesterday was like very emotional. You said that, John. Can you tell me why? Why did you say that?
Well, that was a love between three brothers, a brotherhood that started 50 years ago and still going on strong now. Well, it's only two of us really right now, but it's still going on strong. And it makes me wonder, where did all the time go? I mean, look at it. I don't have hair on my head now.
Nice.
It's very emotional. And that little clip that you just played, we played that at the XL Film Festival, and we did everything spontaneously, and we got second place.
Wow, beautiful. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, first of all, when you're watching it, it's kind of like, wait a minute, was that Mr. T? Wait a minute. Is that them when they were younger? So talk a little bit about, first of all, I looked at you all's beginnings and the fact that you all are all of y'all from Chicago, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about the comings up in Chicago, the energy. How did this all happen? Because I found this picture and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, let me show this picture. What we dealing with here? We got some old school Chicago. Talk a little bit about the coming up. Any of you, both of you, all of you, but not at the same time, coming up in Chicago and how that merging happened.
Well, I came up through the projects. So I'm really from low in the streets. So I went from the projects till when we finally got an apartment. And Chicago was everybody. We didn't know we was poor because everybody was poor. So I come from a family of 6. It was a large family, and we just struggled day to day. But those was good times. That bonded us and made us who we are today.
Nice. Now let me say, now what about you, brother? What about Calvin? What is your
Calvin is Chicago.
Calvin is Chicago. Talk about it.
I grew up in an area called the K-Town, which is on the west side of Chicago, far west side of Chicago. And it took a lot to navigate in that area because it was the first gang area in Chicago, which was the Vice Lords and the Cobras, which fortunately I was able to make sure I didn't entertain any of those organizations. But I knew everyone, and everyone knew me. So that helped a lot as well. And my godfather was a police sergeant, so they helped a lot to keep people off my back. So so that was one of the things. But like with John, I had 2 sisters. I had no brothers. And
Okay.
the uniqueness of this relationship is the fact that I was never really searching for brothers, but these 2 men came into my life and instantly became my brothers. I was kind of an introvert when it came to friendships. I had associates, but not friends that, when someone really close to your heart. And it developed over like a 10-year period of time between John T and myself. And it was just amazing. We had an amazing relationship. That's why John and I still, right now to this day, cannot understand what happened. So, yeah.
So look, what happened. Wait a minute now. I don't even know if I want to go there yet. Because I do want to get into, you had a brotherhood. We can look at the cover of your book there and we see y'all 2, Mr. T. There's so many more examples of this union with you guys. I love showing these pictures. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. What? They rocking the look at it. They rocking them collars. What are we looking at? Like first of all, how did y'all meet Mr. T? Because Mr. T was a brother before he was Mr. T to all of us. Was he close to that point in these pictures or not? How did y'all come together to meet?
That's a unique story, and I'll go through it real quickly because we don't have a lot of time. I was a police officer for about 12 years, and I started working part-time at this nightclub called Dingbats, and it was one of the most popular clubs in Chicago at the time. Okay. And I was working the door by myself as a host. We didn't call ourselves security; we was a host. And I knew John's sister. I didn't know John, and the crowd had started to get a little rowdy. So handling the club by myself and getting beat up every day by myself, I said, "Shit, I gotta find some help take this pressure off me." So John's sister kept telling me about this karate boxing brother she had, and lo and behold, find out he was working at the club as well in a different capacity, and we end up bonding up, and we stayed together about 2 years, and then here come this guy who couldn't pay to get in the club, and he he was causing friction at the door, and we let him in to use the bathroom, and he never came back out. And we found John and I at that time. We were kind of cocky. I was about 150 pounds. John was about the same at that time, and we threw him out the club. And some other guys gave us some problems, and he came to our rescue some backup, and we started forming a relationship from there. And he came down every night. Couldn't pay to get in because he didn't have the money to get in. As you can see, some of the outfits he had on was like zoot suits. And we developed into this bond that it became so close that I could be at home right now watching a certain television program on TV, and you can almost guarantee John and T is watching the same program.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look, we got a comment here. Zelda said, Dingbats is the joint where I found my freedom from an abusive relationship. Mr. T saved the day. So glad to hear these stories. Thanks for sharing. Look at that. You never know who you touching. Y'all know them sisters is watching that was in the Dingbats with you, working the thing. Now, Mr. T couldn't pay to get in. That was the one that couldn't pay to get in, right?
Right.
Oh, come on. And then, so John, we got some images of you rocking and rolling because you said that he was the Karate Kid. That's who John was, or a boxing king. What was the deal?
Yeah, that was his forte. We used to tease about it because and one occasion in the book you'll read where we had never seen John in action, like Bruce Lee. So John and T and I. John had an altercation. He took it outside the club to have the altercation, and unfortunately, he ended up getting stabbed in the altercation. But we wanted to see John in action, and unfortunately,
look.
That was back in the day. That was back in the day when I had a little hair on my head and I wasn't a bad-looking guy then.
And look. So there go a little box. We got the little short rocking out the boxing. So we got the evidence. And then in the boxing arena, in this whole, you guys and your works with the club, and you have these pictures with Don King. I think we even got a picture of you with Sugar Ray, chilling with Sugar Ray. Like, talk about that. What's this about in terms of y'all getting a little star-studded in here?
Well, we met Sugar Ray. We met him. Well, Ken, why don't you tell me how we got started with that? Because we went down to New Orleans and we was building T's image. And we said T would say he bodyguard Michael Jackson, everybody in the world, everybody. And people, we might take a picture with somebody and T said, well, I was his bodyguard. So we went down to New Orleans to do the No Mas fight. And this is when we befriended Sugar Ray. And we tell them how we got in there, Kelvin. The whole
well, T, the ticket was like $1,500 to get into the ring. We didn't pay for the ticket.
Yeah, $2.
So what happened? We pulled up in a limousine, and all the crowd outside the arena parted waves, thinking we were somebody. the way we were dressed, and T was our front man, so he said, move out of the way. The ambassadors are here. So John and I stepped out in our tuxedos and stuff, and people really thought we were someone and gave us front row seats. And we ended up going to Sugar Ray's dressing room and became his bodyguard and walked him all the way to the ring. And
we developed a friendship, and from that we started traveling all over the world because we had professional fighters. And we fought. We had Von Bean. He fought Holyfield, Michael Moore, and Klitschko. So we've been all over the world, and all that came from that little episode. It's all in the book.
Wow, it's all in the book. We used to have a saying talking about it's all in the book. And if y'all don't know, I'm gonna show you the book real quick. Look at the energy of the book. This is the life that we built, a love story, right? And so I love that. Yeah, we talking about a love story, but we're talking about a relationship between brothers. And it's not often that we get this this hearing about the affinity brothers can have for each other. It ain't gotta be like in a relationship like a man and a woman, or some type of that. No, we just talking about that type of commitment to each other, that type of affinity for each other. How did that develop over time, y'all? Like, how did that what would you say to other brothers about letting or allowing this type of relationship to happen?
Well, I'm gonna chime in. I'm gonna
Because
chime in before John do.
come on.
I think, well, the whole premise of the book is about love, and uh, black men right now, a lot of times they will not really break down and really show the love they have for each other. And we had an unbreakable bond at that time, a love that you would not believe between three. I mean, we every day we were together. Every day. If we weren't playing handball, we was eating. If we weren't eating, we got a movie. We did things together so much that our girlfriend said, "Can we go some damn place without all three of y'all being together?" And the uniqueness of it, and I'm gonna have to give myself credit, is that John had 5 brothers, T had 8, I had none. And I was, like I said, I had not been searching for anyone, but these guys end up being, so close to me. And I was always the glue in the relationship. If John and T had an issue, I was the one bring us back together. We were empire building. That's what our dreams were. And our initial premise was to write a book. T was writing a book called The World's Toughest Bodyguard, which was fabricated on our behalf. We put pictures of him with everybody you could name it, because Dingbatz was such a popular place at the time. Every celebrity, Michael Jackson came to the club. Even the Rolling Stones came to the club. That's how popular the club was at one time. And we would do is take pictures with T with these individuals, and the next week it'd be in the newspaper that Mr. T bodyguarded Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
So that's how it started. But I think the uniqueness of the book, and I keep saying that over and over again, is the camaraderie and the bond that we developed over these 12 or 13 years that we were together. And I'm saying every day, I do mean every day.
Wow.
We breakfast together, in the evening together. If I was working the club, then John would come down with, help out, and T would come down and help out. And we had certain days we would get paid, some days we wouldn't. So later on down the road, we end up going to business together, which was TCB Barbecue, and the rest is history. And there it is.
And also, when we came into relationships at different stages of our life. When I came in, I was green. I didn't know nothing about no girls. I didn't know how to dress. I was just an athlete. Calvin was worldwide known. So he showed me how to dress. He showed me how to talk. And I kind of grew up there. I grew up at Dingbatz. I mean,
John had these shoes on, and I don't know if you was in Chicago, but how snow get around the shoes and start this white come around the shoes.
Yeah.
I said, John, get out of them shoes. So look, John at that time was a miser. I mean, he didn't want to buy nothing or do nothing.
I didn't have nothing.
Even buying a car, his first car. Let me tell you about his first car. He had a car, Mustang. And when you got in the car, you had to, it was a hole in the floorboard, so you had to keep your foot from going into the hole in the floorboard. And we finally convinced him to go down and buy his first Cadillac Seville. So he ended up buying his first Cadillac Seville. So he stepped up his game. Now he's on top of the world right now.
Now he's on top of the world with the hat and all of that.
Had the businesses and the whole
Well, matter of fact, I didn't even have a girlfriend. The way I got a girlfriend, I played off of Calvin. All the girls love Calvin. So if they wanted to see Calvin, they would bring a friend, because Calvin had so many girlfriends. Mm-hmm. And if they wanted to get next to Calvin, they would bring a friend. They would have a friend talk to me in order to get Calvin.
I had a method.
So I picked up what you call the side stuff.
Y'all stop it. Y'all hilarious. We love it. Now let me ask this. You mentioned this. TCB Enterprises Incorporated. This was your business. What is this? You said very vaguely that this was your business. So what was this?
Well, I was doodling one time, and on while we were working, and I just started formulating the initials, which is a cliche in the Black community, taking care of business. T
Uh-huh.
for T, C for Calvin, because we never called John John. He was always Bitoy. And
Okay,
so
gotcha.
it became TCB. Our initial premise was to open our own nightclub up. But unfortunately, us being as naive as we were, we took Ron, who owned Dingbats, and he told, "Oh, hey, man, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
Because he didn't want to lose
He
us.
didn't want to lose us,
All the
because
people,
we were
we
like
were
this. We
beanbags.
were Dingbats."
That's right. Say
So
that.
he talked us out of it, and John and I was on our way to work one night, and I stopped by a friend's house. I mean, our business who owns a barbecue place. He showed us how much money he was making. Me and John just said, "Let's find our own barbecue joint," and that's how TCB.
If you're
That's
from
how TCB.
Chicago, you heard of Sprague's.
Right,
Sprague's
barbecue.
Barbecue was on the west side. He got us set up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we ended up
Okay.
opening three barbecue places. We opened TCB, Tasty Q, and
Tasty
TCB
Q.
too. So we opened up 3 barbecue joints, and we were on top of the world, we were making money like crazy.
I know you were, because I'll be seeing them lined up right now on 75th
Right.
Street getting barbecue. Like
Yeah, we were
nobody, they be on that line like the welfare line. They be
and we
like,
were,
what?
and we were fortunate because we were right near the projects on 35th Street, so they couldn't get barbecue. They couldn't cook barbecue, so we had it just fell in place for us. A lot of
Nice,
things just fell in
A
place.
matter of fact, we had so much business. So I think we had liquor license at Dingbats that closed at 2:00. We would leave Dingbats, go to 35th Street, and we'd be in our tuxedos taking orders out in the street. The whole line was down the street.
Wow.
Taking orders.
Y'all see that? And y'all see who, look, y'all see who the people are. Calvin, president. Bitoy, secretary treasurer. And Mr. T, vice president. We gotta love that.
Back in the day, Kelvin and I was like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And then came Dennis Rodman. T was be Dennis Rodman.
Wow, wow. Look at that. Now, was he always Mr. T, even in y'all's day? Because he was Mr. T in our world. I pity the fool. But...
Let us tell you how the gold chains got started.
Oh, go ahead with it.
We would have a fight every night at Dingbats. Now imagine we wearing $600-700 suits. Back then, there was a lot of money for suits, and we would tear up a suit. So if you come down there and act a fool, and we have to tear up our suit, we'll take your gold chain. So imagine us fighting every night. So I only wear one chain. Calvin may wear 1 or 2. Now every night we got a gold chain, so we start giving them the T.
Wow.
That's how I start collecting all the gold chains.
Wow. Y'all stop playing. Look at that.
Let me reemphasize. He was never Mr. T. We coined that phrase for him as Mr. T, just like we coined the haircut, the gold chains, the whole persona.
Well, let's tell them about the haircut.
Well, the haircut, we decided to go. T was very, look, T is a gentle giant. I mean, T, I love the man to this day. I mean, I have to admit, there's no, I don't want to be back with him.
He's still our brother.
He's still our brother. If he called me, say he need me right now, I'm on my way. I would drop him off. I ain't hanging out. But, what happened with T, he would always bend down to meet a girl. He would, he would do his little bend down, and you would see his bald head. So we decided to when he bend down, you automatically, I would cut his haircut into a T. So you would see the Mohican part, and then you would see the back part, and you would see T. Okay. And when I was doing the haircut, I cut one side off and became L instead of T. Instead of T. So we decided to just keep the Mohican haircut, just the one line. So that's how
y'all are mad funny. We got some comments. Y'all making me laugh. First of all, there's a picture. I'm gonna show it in a minute. She said, "Is that my former co-worker, LaDonna Tittle?"
That's
in the middle?
LaDonna Tittle.
Okay, let me find that picture. It was a picture that we had with her and Mr. T. Hold on, there we go.
Right there.
And it says, "Is that my coworker LaDonna Tittle in the middle from WGCI Radio on the left with Mr. T?" You got it, girl. You got good eyes right there. All the excellence. Now, then it says, look at this here. She also says, "Who knew the history of the chains of Mr. T? Loving these stories, Ashe." Look at that. I sure didn't know, but look at that. I love. Thank y'all so much for sharing it. You guys, if you don't know these brothers, I'm going to say it several times in this broadcast. These brothers are going to be at the Soulful Chicago Book Fair on February 15th for the Black History Book Fair. So you're going to be able to meet them, get the book, all of that, get the stories, take the pictures and the like. And so there is so much to show. I want to show this clip here because there's a letter that you forwarded to me here. Now, this is y'all with Mr. T, but there's a letter there and it says, I love you. I love you, Calvin. And we go back too far. I will never let you down. All I want you to do is keep the faith in me and believe in me. And that's all I want. Come on. And it say T. So Mr. T wrote that to you, Calvin?
There is a ton of letters, not just that one. I just sent you that one, but all the time he was away doing his movies, whether it was A-Team or whether it was Rocky, he would always send me letters back talking about how much he missed our relationship and those kind of things. The brotherly love. Matter of fact, the picture you just showed, that was his first birthday party. Now T has 4 sisters and 8 brothers, and he had never had a birthday party in his life. And we gave him his first birthday
and
party.
we didn't even know he had brothers and sisters.
Right.
Wow.
We
All
was
the
his
time
family.
we was together, we never seen any of the family.
We was his
We didn't
family.
know he had a daughter.
Wow. And then all of these people. So, but when did this occur in terms of that? Because you talking about it like you talking about water, A-Team, Rocky. I almost forgot about the Rocky thing. I'm like, dad, wait a minute. That was a pivotal thing in Rocky. So, but when did that occur? How did he go from y'all's 3 Musketeer life to this life inside the movies and the television shows and all of that?
Well, what happened was NBC was doing a series called The World's Toughest Bouncer Contest, and they were looking for locations to do the filming, and unfortunately, Dingbats had a low ceiling, so they couldn't do at our facility. So I asked the producer, I said, well, what are you looking for? So I told him I knew most all the clubs in Chicago. And I suggested a few. I said, wait, what are you looking for? Well, we look for the world's. I said, we got the world's toughest bouncer right here in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Mr. Was T. And they interviewed T. And at that time, T wasn't that like he is now, athletic. He wasn't as athletic.
Okay.
I became T's manager, and John, and being athletic he is, he took T and reformed him, as far as his diet. They were running every morning, like he really, truly becoming a boxer. And so John was up every morning, training T, giving him tuna fish and rice. So and bananas, that was his thing to get him in shape.
Tuna fish, rice, and bananas. Boo.
And T took it seriously, and he won the contest. And Rocky saw him on this program called The World's Toughest Bouncer Contest, called Dingbat looking for him, and the rest is history.
Wow, and wow. Man, I just, somebody put on social media the other day, they took a picture with him. They saw him in a store or something, and they were like, I saw Mr. T today, and they just took a picture of him. So it's so ironic that then here you come with this, and I'm like, whoa, Mr. T, he must be getting a knock on my door. I mean, he's coming in my universe left and right. We got another comment. My girl Naima, that is the CEO of Female Solution. She said, 4 sisters and 8 brothers. His childhood must have been amazing. He definitely learned how to share. Well,
no.
All those brothers and sisters don't mean that.
No. I mean, T's family was so poor. John made him a bet. Now, there was a dog food back in the day called Strongheart.
Right.
It was a very fat. It cost 15 cents a can. It was the cheapest dog food you met. So
Okay.
T said he was so poor they used to eat that. John said, I was poor, but I ain't that damn poor. so John bet him $20 that he had never ate a Strongheart. Went to the store, bought it, and guess what? T ate. He got to $20.
He ate it.
He ate
Lord.
it looked like spam. Am I right, John? It looked like spam.
Yeah.
It looked like spam, but he told me that's how. I mean, he'll tell you in a heartbeat. What was T's slogan? They had 3 meals a day: oatmeal, no meal, and some meal.
And skip a meal. No oatmeal, no meal, and skip a meal.
Skip a meal. So it was something like that. I can't recall.
Wow.
But
Wow. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm so happy that y'all experienced. And if y'all just tuned in, I'm going to show you the book that we're talking about here, big time, that's going to be at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, The Life That We Built, A Love Story I love that you're talking about the combination of the relationships of all of you, how you grew together. We're going to take a quick commercial break, lovely people. And when we come back, we're going to get some more of, well, where is this going? Where is the book flying to? Because you've been doing other podcasts and book signings and all of that. But we're going to see a short commercial break. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair.
Hey family, this is Charles Humphrey of MCH Publishing, and I'm here with Asada, and we at the Soulful Chicago Book what?
This is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, slamming.
We getting down in Hyde Park. Just run it down, my sister. Just tell us, for the people, a little bit about what we're doing here today and why.
You know, this is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, and this month is very important. I feel like we don't give it the type of recognition that it needs, but beyond that, I do all things literary, and we have so many ancestors that have taken a tradition of writing and done great things. Well, we have those of us that are carrying on that tradition, and nobody knows about them until now. So the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is allowing us to tell our stories according to ourselves for our own benefit. And it's just beautiful. I mean, she could have been here today if you wasn't here. But if you were, it's been amazing. People came in consistently, children, and we have children's authors. We have nonfiction authors. We have fiction authors. This is really good. And it's about taking our own power in our own hands and doing what we do on the literary tip, though.
Right.
I got to work, but I can't help it. Everything going to school. Not just about bring my African shit like this. Bring in the African shit.
All right, y'all. It is coming. Don't get it twisted. The Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. You need to write this down in your calendars, February 15th. You see it scrolling down there. Get ready. It's going to be at Little Black Pearl, right on 47th Street. I'm actually going to meet with them today. And guess what? We are taking donations. Yes, we are, because these things cost to produce. Why not? So if you would love to donate, go right ahead. Go see down that info down there at the bottom. Cash App, Asada, what is that? $ Asada Thrives. Zelle, Beating Black Kids at Gmail. That's my first book, just so y'all don't be like, what is Asada doing? Beating Black Kids? No, we're not. That's my book. So anyway, Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. Put it in your life. Definitely going to be no joke on February 15th. All right. All right, y'all. So we are talking today with some dynamic authors. I love their energy. I love what they're bringing to the table. None other than John Bitoy and my man Calvin Hollins. Let me bring them up. Good to see you back. And this has been so much fun. People are actually discovering the backstory of not only you and your importance in Chicago. I want to thank you for that. I'm from New York, which is where this little accent come from. But I love Chicago. Ooh, I love Chicago because y'all have such a rich history to me. And, you know, one of the things I bring to the table, even with the book fair, is the fact that you all create great things, but y'all don't necessarily put it on stage or toot your own horn. But you know, in New York, that's what we do. We toot horns. Broadway, Apollo, blah. So my thing is, let me help put the writers on stage. And that's what the Black History Book Fair is about. That's what all of our book fairs are about, giving stage to the excellence that you all do in writing. And so I want to talk about that a little bit, because you got the book out now and it's evolving. Like, you've done some book signings, and you even have a movie coming out. Talk a little bit about that, the movie coming out, and what that is called.
Well, basically, we've been approached by several entities about the book, and right now we're researching a screenwriter for the book right now. One thing I want to relate regarding the book itself is sad and funny at the same time. So you'll get a few tears out of it, and you get a few laughs out of the book. The movie we hope to come out at least by next year. We met with Robert Townsend over the weekend, his production company. So we reached out to Lorenz Tate, his production company. So we're reaching out to different entities. So we have a screenwriter we're interviewing this weekend as far as writing the story itself. we talked to one guy from Netflix, Andy Tillis, and he said, "Well, you guys really don't have a story. Y'all got a series, So because it's so many layers to the story beyond just the story itself, and we wanted to make sure the story is not about Mr. T. It's about the three of us and the love that we share between the three black men. Which, once again, we call ourselves back then. We were the Three Stooges. We were always also the Three Musketeers. That kind of situation. So that's how we looked at ourselves. So hopefully we'll get this thing off the road. I mean, I would say by the end of or the middle of the spring before we start shooting. So.
Nice.
We're still open we're still looking for that right fit. If somebody out there can come along and help us out, we're still looking for a come up. This is the spot. Kelvin didn't mention that we have been through 6 writers.
Six writers.
We've been through all kind of people coming up. They bring us all kind of ideas and they want to change the story. We know we have to embellish things, but we wanted to try to keep it as original as possible, and try to keep control of the narrative, like what Tyler Perry does. He controls everything.
Yeah.
We don't want to be put in a dress or anything, if you know what I mean. We want our own, keep it like it is. So if there's anybody out there, they can contact us who's looking for, the same start like we started. We started the same level. The same enthusiasm. This story is not just our story. When you listen to this story, you find out this is everybody's story. One person out in Idaho, Wisconsin somewhere wrote us, emailed us and said, that happened to me. The same thing happened to me. That happened to the same people all over the world. The form of this story. So this is not just our story, it's everyone's story. But we look to come on board with us. We still haven't locked down all the loose ends yet. So if anybody is out there that got the talent, you see how Tupac and all them guys, Spike Lee, all of them got started. They all started on the ground level and they found the different people. Even the actors, if you got suggestions, who's supposed to play Calvin? Who's supposed to play me? We know who's going to play T, the guy in the Black Panther movie, that guy that played the Wolf Tribe. That's
wow. Yeah.
We got T, but anybody can play me, but we got to kind of find Calvin. Calvin is like he said, he was the glue in the link.
Wow. Let me tell you, right here on this show, we interviewed an author. Her name is E. Ray Turanek. She has her own books. She will be at the book fair, but she's also a screenwriter. And so she is now, I think they might be close to done. She wrote the screenplay for one of our other authors who has a book, my man Manati Jenkins. He's an attorney. He wrote a book called Race, Lust, and Justice. She just wrote the screenplay for that. So I will make sure I connect you guys. I don't know if you need it, but y'all hear they talking to big people. Y'all stop playing. They talk about, we talked to Robert Townsend yesterday, and we talked to Netflix. So I love that. Play it big. If you're gonna go big, go big.
No, we're not big. That's one thing about us. It has to be the right fit.
I know
I don't care about your money because we ain't broke. Just get the right fit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, what I want to show is this. Look at we've got the big man in the background. Big old family. What's up, family? So
I'm sorry.
Oh, we don't care. That's life. We life on this show. We don't care about all that. Now, I want to show you guys, and you're out there. People are you're not only with the book is here, but y'all doing signings. Like, stop playing with me. People are. Tell about this event. Where were you? What was happening? And obviously, you were signing copies for folks.
This was at the Garfield Reflectory.
Okay.
And I think 300 people came. 300?
Yeah, 300, yeah.
Yeah, 300 people came out to this. This was something, all the politicians, we know Danny Day, all the names. Everybody was there, and they came in to support, because almost everybody on the West Side knows us. Because not only we are philanthropists in the community. We donate to every organization, and we have
Nice.
our own non-for-profit. I have a non-for-profit called Change for Children, and Kelvin has a non-for-profit called the
Boys from the Hood. Boys from the Hood.
Nice.
We still work in the community. We work with the 15, 11, 25 district, 8 and 9. We work with the CAPS office. We're all over the place.
I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. You know, so there's the you of the past, and that's what we saw in some of the earlier pictures. But the thing that I love is that there is a you of the present. Let's get that clear. Like you talking about yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to the gym. I'm like, oh, he's still going to the daggone gym. I thought those was old pictures. Like that was something in the past. But people don't understand. You don't lose it. You know, that's a choice. If you lose it, that's your choice. But if you choose to live who you are and be true to who you are, it don't go nowhere. I want to put up this because I found this in your social media. And I want you to just explain how this relates to the story and who you are. It says, in my life, I've lived, I've loved, I've lost, I've missed, I've hurt, I've trusted, I've made mistakes, but most of all, I've learned.
Would you believe I put that together?
Did you write that?
I wrote that. I wrote that for our co-writer because that's my feeling. That's what I feel. You know, I've loved, and you know, I've lost, and I've missed out on a lot of opportunities in my life. But at the same time, my favorite song above all songs is Frank Sinatra. I did it Cal's way. Well, really, I did it my way. I changed the lyrics. But that's exactly how I feel. And like I said, my love for John, and has always been there, and always will. And my love for T. I mean, I'm not going to negate him from the situation. Whether I want to be with him again, no, because I'm not going to take a stabbing in the back twice. But at the same time, I've always believed if you love someone, you never lose that love for them. You might not be in love with them, but you never have that love for them anymore. And we had this brotherly bond, this brotherly love that is so unique. And even with John and I reflect back on certain things, it puts a chill down your back. And like I said before about television, and not only television, everything. I mean, we were in the car one day, and I was telling them about the Arabs and how much money they had. And this is back in 1982 or 80. And John, and this program came on at like 11, I think 1 o'clock in the morning. And John said, I was watching it. T said, I was watching it too. One day I was a police officer. I had a case downtown in Chicago, and I don't want to take up too much of our time real quickly. And it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and the judge took a recess. I said, what the hell am I going to do for an hour? So by being a police officer, I get in theater, which is showing my badge and walking in. And it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and here come, and we downtown Chicago. Here come Chief from one end of the street. Here come John from the other end of the street with no plans. And see, perhaps John and T doesn't have that emotional impact like I had, but it just put chills down my back just thinking about a little situation like that. It's like recognizing, and I recognize those situations like that.
Yeah. And we had the same emotion, just that Kelvin was a little bit more expressive. We was less, I mean, we had to learn. See, Kelvin was a man of the world. He knew how to get around. We just didn't know how to say I love you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, let me say this, because this is the elephant in the room, and without it going in a direction you don't want it to go, you said it a couple of times. We were a thing, but then we weren't. Yeah. What is that? Then we weren't. What happened?
Go ahead, John.
Well,
he said, "Go ahead, John."
Well, the biggest thing I want to say, when we were all broke at the same time, everything was we. You hear T say we.
Let me stop John right. Let me stop John. I'm gonna stop John right there. I could never separate the I from the we, and John was the one corrected me on that. Yeah, because I said if I'm going to go to the eat, that means all three of us go to the eat like that. And when things separated, I never took that we out of our conversation. John was the one explained to me that there was no we is no in the I. There's no I in we, I should say.
I was fighting at Dingbat's one day, and we always fight together. Kelvin wasn't there, and I'm fighting this guy, and I looked over looking for T for help. T standing at the door with a bottle of Moms with his, he just came from Rocky 3 with all his feathers and stuff on.
Yeah.
And he said, somebody help that guy. I'm a movie star now. and I'm fighting this guy. And I look up and he said, I don't fight nobody no more. And then every time I would hear T start, he starts saying, I did this, I did this. I went to Calvin and said, T is changing. Calvin,
I didn't see it. I was so in love with the situation, I didn't see it.
It went from we to I.
I see. And
then he slowly we went out we did the tour with him. We was doing the tour, and the way he treated me on the tour, imagine me getting out of a limousine. We got all these people, Sylvester Stallone, all these people come to get the bags, and T looked back at me and say, he's going to get the bags. And I look around. Me? We got bellhops there. He said,
I was just about to say bellhop. I was like, you the bellhop.
I took the next plane smoking home.
I'm going to say, John called me and said, can I say it? He said, fuck this shit. I'm out.
No curse. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just repeating what he said.
I got a Rolls Royce at home and my own money. You can have this crap.
Right. Lord have mercy on our souls.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
Hold on. Then Calvin went out. And he left Calvin in some hotel. It was in Amsterdam.
No, it was Amsterdam. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he left Calvin in the hotel. So Calvin, when he come back from the tour, and he's not saying nothing to me. I said, Calvin, how was the tour? He hadn't talked to me in a week. I said, well, how was the tour? He wasn't saying nothing. He said, I'm just going to tell you one thing, and one time only, and you better not mention this no more. Damn, you was right.
Man. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He kind of.
It's unfortunate, man.
But you got to understand, we could never get away from each other because even today, wherever I go, somebody would say, damn, that's you. And I remember with you and T and Calvin. And it's got to be happening to T too. Because they saying to T, I was just with John or Calvin the other day. So we can't get away from each other. We locked into life.
Well, a few weeks ago, a lady was at the Jewel Food Store and T was there. And she recognized T as, our camaraderie. So she called me and said, T's in. He gave her, she took the phone to T and told him he was on the phone. And T put the phone down and walked away. That's what she said. He walked away. So,
and to this day, we still don't know what happened.
To this day.
Right.
But we do know what happened. Money and fame.
Look at this comment. Look, my girl Naima said money does change people, especially when they grow up poor. They grew up poor.
But it never grew up from us. My
thing, and like John said, I had been exposed to a lot because my godfather was kind of prominent in Chicago. So I was exposed to a lot at a young age. So I saw a lot, the fine restaurants and all those things. So my whole dream, even with T, that's why we never took no money from T. Now, we were supposed to get 20% of all the stuff he was doing. We didn't take a dime because we were still making money both at our restaurant and dingbats at the time. We ended up buying dingbats or buying into dingbats.
Oh.
And we ended up owning it.
Right. And my vision at the time was for us to build the Sears Tower. I'm not small. I don't think small. I think big. Right. That was our whole premise. To build an empire. I was empire builder. I wasn't just stagnant and say this is satisfactory to me to have a barbecue joint and a nightclub. I saw us building another Sears Tower or that kind of complex. That's why we had agreed upon it in the beginning when T was doing this so-called book called The World's Toughest Bouncer. We would take that revenue and start building toward building a building. We wanted to build. I wanted to build a skyscraper, and I wanted my brother to come along with us in doing this. That was my vision. That was always been my vision.
Nice. Well, look, check it out, y'all. The book, The Life That We Built, A Love Story. The movie, We Three Kings: The Rise and Fall of a Brotherhood. Man, how strong. Let me put up this comment. My man Lawrence said Dingbats was in the midst of the party area. the back room on Rush was a great jazz spot. Look, people, you got memories. You got memories coming on.
That back room was called the Pumpkin. Was it the Pumpkin Room?
Pumpkin Room, right?
Pumpkin Room. So we had. I mean, it was unreal. Actually, I grew up there because I come from shit.
Why y'all stop that cursing on the show?
That's a substance. That's not a bad word. It's a substance.
From Sugar Honey Iced Tea? Really? Oh gosh. Man.
But you gotta understand too, Kelvin left this out. T was spending a lot of money. Our money.
Whoa.
If T was going to the grocery store, he ordered a limousine. If T was going to the grocery store, he ordered a limousine. And guess who paid for it? We did. You know what I'm saying? If he was going 5 blocks, he'd order a limousine because.
And I gotta mention this part. Because we ended up suing T, and we didn't sue T. This was not suing him for money. It was we had got in a jam at Dean Bats, and we needed we lost Dean Bats. A tragedy happened in 1984, and we needed $100,000. It happened at 2 in the morning, and we needed $100,000 by 12 o'clock that afternoon, and we was $1,000 short. And I called T, and T probably owed us $100,000. And I called T, and I said, T, don't make me beg. I need $1,000. Or we in a jam. We're in a serious jam. And we sold all our diamonds, all our fur coats, but we only was down to $1,000. And T, and we hadn't talked to T in about a year, Kelvin?
Yeah, about a year.
About a year. And T said, you don't have to beg me. And I got relief. I said, whoa, good. He said, if you can't do the time, then don't do the crime. Whoa. And when he said that, I said, I don't know how we're going to come out tonight, T. But if we make it through the night, we're going to spend a good part of our life squaring this. And if you look on, we sued them for $5 million. And if you pull that picture up, with the tattoo on his arm, it says,
that won the case. That won the case.
That won the case for us. We didn't have no papers. We didn't have no legal documents.
No, take that back, John. We had plenty of papers. We had over $89,000 in canceled checks. Because we and the letters I just showed you about the relationship. Sure. And he told the judge that he didn't know us. We just two hangers out that hung out with him in Chicago, and and we had all these letters from him saying. I mean, there's many more letters than what you have right now. I got one that's 4 pages long. Talking about the relationship, and after all was said and done, I leaned over to my attorney and told him to have him roll his sleeve up, and then and after telling the judge he didn't know us, the judge said, "How do you know these guys? You got their name tattooed on your arm like that." So the funny part, the judge awarded us $5 million, $4.9 million. And he said, I pity the fool. T's all worried. T's all worried. T slammed, he had a Bible. He was in a wheelchair. He had a Bible in his hand. He slammed the Bible so hard on the table that John and I ducked because we thought he had shot us.
Oh my gosh.
We ended up not getting a dime from the suit because he had filed bankruptcy because he had out of the $29 million he had made his career. He had went bankrupt.
Oh man, what a sad story. I mean, like you said, the book sounds funny. It sounds sad. It had like these different aspects. You guys, this is just really amazing. I can't even believe this show is almost over. Like you said, we only got an hour. We could do 5. We could do 5 hours, clearly. But man, I mean, what you shared today is so important. You guys, if you just came on, I'm going to show you this book right now. This is the book that will be at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, The Life That We Built, a love story talking about the life and relationships of these brothers, John Bitoy, Calvin Hollins, and Mr. T. We all kind of just know Mr. T from what we know, right? Rocky and the 18, but boy, look at the backstory. And it's unfortunate that the brother, and you know what's the saddest part? I bet you that those decisions were made from somebody in his ear. I
We
don't
know
know
that.
that.
We know who it was. Remember, John? We know it was.
His
What
sister was one of them.
It's always a woman, usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand her. We jumping out of limousine doing the premiere of Rocky 3.
With the jackets and the hats and all
Yeah.
that.
The
Yeah.
jackets and the hats, and we see them standing at the entrance, and we said, "Who are those people?" So they thinking, who are we? And we trying to
Who
say,
are you?
"Who
I changed his diapers. What did you talk about?
So I can
Wow.
understand them thinking that we would, but we weren't taking nothing. We were the one that was paying the freight. We had all the money. T didn't have any money, so we paid the freight.
Even the airline fees to go do the do the rehearsal for Rocky 3, they wasn't paying it. We were paying it. The airline fees, the hotel fees.
And don't forget, before when Rocky came out, T only made $32,000 from Rocky. He spent the first 2 months. So he had to go a whole 12 months with no money. Who paid for that? Who paid for the limousines? Who paid for the extravagant parties in the apartment? How much we paid for the apartment a month?
Amazing.
Well, I forgot what was it. It's McClure Court, because he was still living in the projects. We met, and that's the funny part is that he would never let us take him home in the beginning of our relationship because we would take him home. Oh, no, I got it. Unfortunately, he was still living in the projects. So we found out about that, and we ended up getting an apartment across the street in a complex called McClure Court, which is in the Gold Coast. And apartment was 1903. I still remember right now because I paid the rent. 1903. That was the apartment number. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow, see that? You guys, it's amazing. We only got like 2 minutes left for you to leave this audience with a word of wisdom. Give it to us. What you want to say in the last 2 minutes of this show?
I'll let John take it off. Take it off, John.
If you have a friend, keep your friend. If you have a friend,
my thing, like I said, I'm gonna go biblical. No greater love is this than a man who laid down his life for a friend. And that's how I felt about these 3 guys. The stuff we went through, I would take a bullet for them in a heartbeat. So that was my thing. And like I said, I've been on this earth for a long time, and I have, even to this point, on my hand, I can only count certain people who I say are my true friends. You know.
Don't forget, the book is on Amazon. It's a bestseller, and we also have audio tape.
You see it? Look, let me show it, y'all. Let me show it one more time so you see it. This is the book that you will see during the event. Like I said, The Life That We Built, a love story. I want to thank you, brothers, for coming on the show today massively. This was a ball. It could have been so much longer, but prosperity to you. I look forward to meeting you in the flesh at the event, and go today and prosper. You guys go ahead and you saw that. Let me get that website up. You want to buy that book? Let's show that real quick. Let me get that up. Yeah. This is where they can go, right?
Yeah.
Right. Website, hollinsbitoy.com, right?
And you can also contact us if you have writing skills, movie skills, or acting skills.
Nice. You see that, y'all. There go the information. I love you greatly, everybody. Peace to you, and have a wonderful day until next week, Tuesday, on Gathering the Griots. Thank you, brothers.
We appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, man. Man, what a great show. We're going to have to take this on.
One more thing right now. One thing. The book is not sad. It's sad and funny at the same time. So you'll get your money's worth out of it. So part of you will laugh and part of you will cry.
And we still love T. We still love T. Nothing has changed. He's still part of the brotherhood.
That's right. You heard that, T. Come on through now. It's time to repair the relationships. Peace, guys. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jareh. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.